And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Full Velocity Sim Racing TV. I will be your host tonight, Jake Keel. Normally it's Phil. Phil's going to be out tonight, so I'm filling in. I'll be showing up here on Full Velocity TV a lot here in the coming weeks. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we got a special for you. We got the Wicked Cushion Charlotte Showdown here tonight. We got the 410 sprint cars. We're looking at 40 lap A feature. I've got my man Todd Stanton on the controls. How you doing tonight, Todd?
Doing fantastic here this evening. If this is going to be anything like our race that we had last evening with the late models, oh man, it's going to be a barn burner.
You are right about that one. I was able to catch a little bit of that one last night. Some great side-by-side racing. We're going to be here from Charlotte Motor Speedway, the dirt track at Charlotte. A great little track they've got here. And we're ready to roll here. They're going to do a little bit of qualifying to get us started tonight. And then we're going to go racing here at the dirt track at Charlotte. It's about a 4/10 size racetrack. Mostly does sprint cars, some late models, some modifieds here at Concord, North Carolina. Great little track we've got here. We want to thank Wicked Cushion for coming on board for tonight's broadcast. If you can get 5 friends to like this broadcast tonight, tag some friends. If you can get 5 friends to like this broadcast, you can win a free Wicked Cushion t-shirt. So make sure to get on there, get your friends watching the broadcast, get them to like this broadcast, and we can get them going tonight, guys. But ladies and gentlemen, we have a huge car count. How many cars we got here tonight, Todd?
Jake, it looks like we have about right around 34 cars here this evening. We're signed up for this event here this evening. A few of them, one of them having some technical difficulties, but qualifying underway. So 34 cars going to take to this track here this evening.
Yeah, we've got a few cars already on the racing surface. It looks like Dylan Fox is out there right now. We're going to scroll through a few of them. Nick Del Campo on the raceway. Matthew McKinney on the racing surface. Chase Cabri in that number 31 right there. So we're going to have a great night here at Charlotte, the dirt track at Charlotte, and I can't wait to get started. It looks like qualifying is ending, so we're going to get the drivers lined up. We're going to go with 4 heat races tonight. 4 heat races, 10 laps per each heat race. Then we'll move on to the C main, which will be 15 laps, a B feature of 20 laps, and then, of course, our main event tonight, the 40-lap A feature here to determine who's going to win the Charlotte Showdown here for VLR. I want to thank everybody that's watching across our platforms tonight, YouTube and Facebook Live. Are we on Twitch again tonight, Todd?
Yes, indeed. We're on Twitch here this evening. Three big broadcasters, and being able to broadcast all the way across here this evening.
Well, we're going to get these cars lined up and ready to go, and I believe they're going to start bringing those drivers out. Looks like I'm seeing a few of them entering the racing surface for the first heat race. So let's take a look at who we've already got out here. Looks like the number 15 of DJ Kilanowski is already on the racing surface. The number 99 of Patrick Solari out there as well. Jason Nygaard in the number 22, and the number 74 of Adam Elby, and the number 3 out there as well of Lewis Hewitt. So we're going to have a great field of cars tonight, and I can't wait to get going tonight, guys.
Yeah, I definitely can't wait to get going here this evening and just watching these guys line up. Right now, we're missing the number 98 of Tim Ryan, not making the call so far for this heat race. Now he finally gets out onto the racetrack. So starting on the pole is going to be Tim Ryan. You got Lewis Hewitt, Jason Nygaard in that 22, Adam Elby, and you got Ryan Meyer in the 19. You got the number 99 of Patrick, DJ Kalinowski, Josh Close, and Eric Hogue in the 33 machine. So 9 cars taking the heat race number 1 there. It's going to be a fantastic event. These guys are going to be slinging some dirt here at a really quick pace here at the dirt track of Charlotte.
Yeah, you've got Tim Ryan there in that number 98. He's going to start on the pole with the number 3 of Lewis Hewitt. I mean, it looks like an all Aussie front row for tonight's first heat race. We've been waiting all day. We're here. We're ready to get started. We're going to go 10 laps tonight. 10 laps, the scheduled distance for heat number 1.
Yeah, 10 laps going to be the qualifying distance. 3 cars will qualify here into the main event. The rest of them will go to the C and the B main here this evening. 34 cars, like you said, answering the call here tonight. Just waiting for the iRacing.com pace truck to pull off of the dirt track of Charlotte. He's going to indeed do so. Jake, I'm going to let you take the call.
Ladies and gentlemen, here they come. They're inching into turn number 3. We're anxious to get started here with the Charlotte Showdown, brought to you by VLR and Wicked Cushion. We are green with Tim Ryan taking them to the stripe. Here they come down into turn number 1. Ryan's getting the big jump into turn number 1 with Lewis Hewitt right behind him. In the number 22, that'll be Jason Nygaard challenging for that second spot as they head through 3 and 4. Coming to the stripe, it's going to be Tim Ryan leading lap 1.
Tim Ryan leading lap number 1 to number 3 of Lewis Hewitt running in that second spot. Third is Jason Nygaard right now comfortably sitting in that third spot, that final transfer spot. That's what we're going to call the hot seat here tonight. The dirt track of Charlotte, so hot seat for all 4 heats is going to be that number 3 spot.
And Adam Elby is sitting right outside of that hot seat in that machine, the number 74. He closes in on the number 22 of Nygaard. Nygaard will make a move into turn number 1 as Tim Ryan continues to lead.
Yeah, Tim Ryan still leading here, about 5 to 6 car lengths over Lewis Hewitt in that number 3 machine. Jason Nygaard right now settled into that third spot. Adam Elby trying to make up some real estate here in that number 74 machine. Not able to do so as right now he's on the outside looking in. Looks like he is going to go right now as it sits. He's going to go to a B main if he finishes there.
It looks like the number 74 of LB is losing ground on that number 22 as the number 3 of Hewitt slowly picking off that number 3. He's coming up towards that number 3 of Tim Ryan as they head into turn number 1.
Lewis Hewitt starting to make some moves here in that number 3 machine and trying to get up onto the number 98 of Tim Ryan right now. Half a second separates those two drivers here as we're going down the back straightaway here into turn number 3. Off of turn number 4, we have popsicle sticks in the air. 2 more trips around the speedway.
Lewis Hewitt going up top with Tim Ryan. They're both running the cushion up there at the top, bumping wall as Tim Ryan will now jump to the bottom. Hewitt will stay up top through 3 and 4. White flag is out. 1 more trip around.
1 more trip around the dirt track of Charlotte. Wicked Cushion sponsored event here this evening. Tim Ryan right now has led wire to wire, and he's going to lead so here off of turn number 4 here to the start finish line. Going to pick up heat race number 1. It's going to be Lewis Hewitt and Jason Nygaard. Those 3 guys will go to the A main. They get to sit just a little bit. These other guys have to prepare for the B and the C main. Heat number 2 going to be ready to roll out here momentarily.
Great race we had up front as Hewitt was starting to run down Tim Ryan. And now we'll move on to heat race number 2. We got the cars lining up front now. We are missing 1 car so far out of this. I'll go ahead and start giving you some names here for heat race number 2. In the number 18 will be Austin Semmelman. Right outside of him in the number 5 will be David Helleman. In the number 211 will be Dan Smolders with the number 127 of Stephen Hill behind him. To the inside of row number 3 in the number 23 will be Justin Thomas with the number 14 to his outside of Dylan Fox. In the number 02 car will be Cole Cabri, and rounding out your field in the number 50 car will be Davey Nall. Davey Nall in the number 50 car. So we've got them lined up. The iRacing pace truck out front. We're just waiting for that to duck on off here as we're ready to go green here at the dirt track in Charlotte. The dirt track at Charlotte. Charlotte Showdown here for the VLR series.
Yeah, definitely waiting for these guys to get the green flag here out of turn number 4. Like you said, Settleman and Holloman is your front row here in that number 5 machine, the number 18, iRacing.com. Pace truck taking that hard left-hand turn down to the infield. We're getting ready to go green flag racing here out of turn number 4. Just waiting for these guys to press that loud pedal down. And these guys are stacked and packed. Green flag is in the air, and we're racing here off of turn number 4. Settleman into turn 1 with the lead over David Heileman in that number 5 machine.
Heileman right behind Semmelin. There he is in that second position. The battle right now is between the number 211 of Dan Smulders and the number 127 of Stephen Hill. Stephen Hill goes down to the bottom. He moves into the hot seat, into the turn. Here comes Semmelman. Here comes Smulders, right back down to the bottom. He will retake the position out of that turn.
Yeah, Smulders not going away in that 211 machine, now down to the bottom once again. Contact made with the 127 of Stephen Hill. Hill able to hold on, but Smulders now in a 3-wide battle. The 23, where'd he come from? Justin Thomas down on the bottom. He almost flirted with disaster with one of those Uke tires.
And now here comes Davey Nall on the outside. Nall going to the outside, trying to make a move for that third spot. We still have a 3-car battle for that position with the number 211. Now the 211 falls all the way back to 5th as the battle for the transfer spot continues. Nall on the outside and the number 50 on the 127 of Stephen Hill. Well, one car going around back behind these guys. He goes over. We will stay green. Your race, now we are being shown the yellow as Semmelman is your race leader still. Helleman is in second with the 127 of Stephen Hill sitting in the hot seat right now. The final transfer with the number 50 of Davey Null and the number 211 of Dan Smulders right outside of that transfer position. Todd, we're inching close, but man, that was some great racing for that final transfer spot out of the heat race.
Yeah, it seems like these guys, the first heat race looked like the bottom was the way to the land here, well, even the top side. These guys were relegated to one groove. These guys able to slice and dice their way up through here. You're seeing multiple grooves used here at the dirt track of Charlotte, and the yellow flag is just going to group these guys up more for an ecstatic finish here. Do believe, though, Davey Nall in that number 50 machine, man, he was starting to put on a clinic coming up through the field. Dan Smulders made a mistake in that 211 machine, and man, he fell back to 5th, but he still got his second win here with this yellow flag.
Yeah, this groups everybody back up. You gotta think that third spot is gonna be. There's gonna be guys all over that number 127 of Stephen Hill. He's sitting in that final transfer, and he's gonna try to get a little bit of protection here on the restart. But we're gonna go double file restart with Semmelman leading them back to the stripe in that number 18 car. Here they come inching through 3 and 4. The pace car is off. We are racing once again at the dirt track at Charlotte. Semmelman will jump out to the early lead once again with the number 5 of Helleman right behind him. But look at this 3-car battle for the third spot as Smulders goes down to the bottom. Here comes the number 127. Whoa, one car flipping down the front stretch.
Yeah, one car flipping down the front straightaway. The race has finished. Austin Settleman going to pick up the win here, and did not quite get the other 2 drivers that did finish here tonight, as they did finish their under checker flag. One car flipping upside down viciously here. Heat number 3 making its way out onto the speedway here. Dirt track is Charlotte again, and so far the racing has starting to prove to get better and better and better, because that groove is starting to heat up all the way around that track.
And now we're getting heat race number 3 of 4 out on the racing surface. We'll tell you who is out there now. In the number 35, on the inside of row number 1 will be Nick Cooper with the number 31 of Chase Cabri on the outside. Inside row number 2 in the number 29 will be Bob King with the number 7 of Dylan Hauser. The number 1 right behind them that is the 05 of Nick Del Campo with the number 1 of Braden Finzel. the number 12 of Alex Bergeron, and the 024 of Ryan Martin rounding out your field.
And just waiting for these cars there, Jake, to restack and repack. They have one more trip around the speedway before they get the green flag here for heat number 3. Nick Cooper, one of those guys that have been fast all evening long, watching him through just different practice sessions that he's been in that number 35 machine. He's going to be a guy to watch. Don't forget out Chase there. He's in that Wicked Cushion sponsored machine. He is starting to the outside, so don't count him out. Don't count any of these drivers out. Alex Bergeron starting way back. He had a good run in the late models. Green flag getting ready to come out. Green flag is in the air, and Nick Cooper leads them down here to turn number 1. Chase Cadbury in the number 31 machine now dives into the middle groove. The 29 even lower. That's Bob King in that 29 machine trying to make something happen on the bottom. Meanwhile, nice battle going on for that second spot.
Here comes the number 7 now, the number 12 on the outside. That is your battle for the third position. Here they come, the number 12 of Bergeron all the way up to third. He is going to set his sights on the 2 leaders, the number 31 of Chase Cadbury and your leader, the number 35 of Nick Cooper. Cadbury right on the back bumper of that number 35 car. Your race is for the lead down into turn number 3.
Big wreck coming out of turn number 3 there. There's a huge wreck, people flipping up through the air. And all those cars involved there. Dylan Hauser, Ryan Martin, I think, got away from that. Bob King heavily involved in that one. But the number 1 machine also involved. Unfortunate chain of events there. The guy got loose out of shape, tacked that wall, and back down in front of the other drivers. Some of these guys creating upside down. And hopefully they're able to get it fixed here for the future of that. But I tell you what, Alex Bergeron coming from 8th starting position, already up to 3rd in that number 12 machine. Man, he put on a clinic there on that initial start.
Yeah, he's flying. I don't show a qualifying time, so he must have missed qualifying, which means he had to start at the back. But he's got that car hooked up, and we'll see what that number 12 of Bergeron has for the number 31 of Chase Cadbury and the number 35 of Nick Cooper. Great race up front for the race lead there, as Cadbury was all over the back bumper of the 35. But the equalizer, once again, the caution, we'll see if Bergeron now can have anything for these top 2 runners.
Yeah, those guys were out to a pretty good pace there. That number 35 of Nick Cooper and Chase Cadbury, and the number 31 machine, the 12 of Alex Bergeron. It looked like he might have had something for him, but we'll have to wait and see how that's going to unfold. As he did run a quick time of 13.193. That's a little bit quicker than both your leaders. iRacing.com pace truck taking that left-hand turn down to the pit entrance. We're getting ready to go back to green flag racing.
Here they come into turn number 3, side by side, nose to tail. Cooper sets the pace. He slides up in front of the number 31, opening up the door for Bergeron. Bergeron goes down to the bottom. He's going to make a move for 2nd as Cadbury will fall back to 3rd. Here comes Cadbury back down to the bottom. 3-car battle for the race lead. Give it to Bergeron now, Cadbury.
Yeah, the number 31 was able to get by the number 12 of Bergeron. Bergeron now, meanwhile, drop kicked back to that 3rd spot. And that number 12 machine, he's trying to battle it out here, trying to get back to the top spot. He wants to get right up there and race pretty good here with that number 35. Nick Cooper now back down to the bottom side, trying to pull a slide job through the corner. And he's going to be able to do so, but the 31 fires back.
Here comes the 31 of Chase Cadbury. He's back to the lead. Nick Cooper will jump back down the crossover. He will try to make the slide job move through turn number 1. We're on lap number 10, ladies and gentlemen. Here comes the 31 of Cadbury. Now the number 12 of Alex Bergeron. Slide job to the race lead.
Bergeron going to pick up the win. I don't know if he quite picked up the win there. It looks like Cadbury able to pick up the win in that 31 machine. He roughed up Bergeron just a little bit. And Bergeron, man, what a fantastic finish there. 3-wide battle for the lead.
Yeah, Chase Cadbury pulling it off. A little bit of contact right there at the end. But Cadbury, Bergeron, and Cooper will advance on your A feature. Ryan Martin, we'll see him in the B feature, ladies and gentlemen. Now we'll move on to heat race number 4 of 4, the final heat race of tonight's call. Todd, do you want to tell them who's in this one?
Yeah, starting on the pole is the number 8 of Cole Newhoffen. He's been quick all evening long in that number 8 machine, so he's going to be a man to watch here. And watch him come through the field in that number 8 machine as he starts on the pole. So he's obviously not going to come through the field, but watch what type of driver he's going to be. Number 38, Thomas Garriott, is outside of him. James Eden in the number 24 starts third. Tyler Pilfer in the number 4. He runs in the 4th spot. 5 is going to be Rusty Kruger. Then you got Matt Henninger, and then Brian Wax, and then Matthew McKinney starting 8th there. So some of these guys you've seen last night in the late model race, they're a little bit further back here in the sprint cars. These are a different animal all in itself. As these guys, these cars are a handful for a driver like myself that just really got involved into this as far as the 410 version wise. You know, the late models are a handful too, but I'm a full fender man. I know you like the sprint cars.
Well, 410 sprint cars are what I was raised on, and they are the fastest form of auto sport around, the best speed to weight ratio out there. But here we come. We're heading into turn number 3. The iRacing pace car is ducked off. We're green as Cole Newhoffen takes him to the stripe.
Yeah, Newhoffen leads the charge down into turn 1, makes a little bit of contact there to the outside wall, but he immediately goes to the top side. He knows where it's fast right now in that number 8 machine. He's starting to pull away already. Man, look at that move. I'm not sure who that was there through the field. It looked like the 24, James Eden, and indeed it was. Man, what a move by that 24 machine as a slide job propelled him into second.
James Eden's up to the 2nd spot. He's setting his sights on the number 8 of Newhoffen. Newhoffen, your race leader, but Thomas Garriott in the number 38 in that 3rd spot. He's right on the tail of that number 24. Here comes the number 4 of Peifel on the outside. He's going to try to make a run on the rail to that 3rd spot. Give it to the number 4 of Peifel.
Yeah, Peifel making a good run there in that number 4 machine. He's able to move up to the 3rd spot, but again, 3 wide battle. Here comes the 51 of Matthew McKinney. He's way down on the bottom there momentarily. He backs out of it. He does not want to flirt with disaster with one of those Uke tires. Man, look at these guys fighting tooth and nail for that final spot.
Eden slipped up there for a second, grabbed the wall. Now that's opened up the door for Peifel to try to lock himself down on the bottom. Here comes the 51. Big slide job. Whoa, 38 in the wall. Thomas Garriott in the wall. Hard hit by that car. We are staying green right now, it looks like, as Peifel has caught the back bumper of the number 24.
Yeah, Peifel in that number 4 machine really starting to reel in. James Eden's in that number 24 machine is right now about 3 car lengths separate those two drivers. Matthew McKinney's on the outside looking in. If he finishes where he's at, he's going to go to a B main, but that's necessarily not a bad thing. They're going to take 8 cars out of the B main. They're only taking 3 cars here out of heat number 4. These guys are pretty much starting to spread out.
Yeah, Newhoffen up front has a 1.5 second lead there over the number 24 of James Edens. Edens now separating a little bit from Peifel, but here comes McKinney. McKinney in that number 51 car trying to reel in the number 4 of Tyler Peifel, sitting in that 3rd spot. As we are on the final lap here, here they come to the checkered flag. It's going to be Cole Newhoffen, your heat race winner. James Edens will finish 2nd. Tyler Peifel in 3rd. And just outside of the transfer will be the number 51 of Matthew McKinney with Rusty Kruger, Brian Wax, Henninger, and Garriott.
What a fantastic show these heat races put on here tonight, Jake. We're going to get ready, relocked, and reloaded here for C and B main action as these guys getting ready. As it looks like it may, I'm not sure if they're going to skip the C or if we're actually going to do a C here tonight. It looks like we are actually going to do... I'm not sure. It might be a C or a B. I'm not sure, Jake. What do you see?
Well, I am not seeing anything yet. We're gonna see here in a second. I am seeing Cole Cabry out there, so we'll see what's going on with that driver. But the number 1 of Braden Finsel. Yeah, looking at results earlier, Finsel finished 5th in his heat race, I do believe. I believe we're going into the C there, Todd. I believe we're going into the C feature.
Yeah, now that C feature, 4 are going to qualify to the B main here. And there's going to be 16 cars in the B main. Yes, indeed, it is the C feature. 15 laps is going to be the distance here. And these guys are going to have to fight tooth and nail. A short time period, 15 laps. That's not a lot of time here. The dirt track is Charlotte to try to get into one of those 4 transfer positions into the B main.
And ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to tag your friends in this broadcast tonight. Make sure that you get at least 5 friends tagged in here. Get them to like this broadcast for the chance to win a Wicked Cushion t-shirt. I want to thank Wicked Cushion for this and VLR for this big race, the Charlotte Showdown. Of course, we're live once again. We want to thank everyone watching on Full Velocity TV. Make sure to give us a like on Facebook, on a subscribe on YouTube and Twitch, as we're on all 3 platforms tonight. Once again, I am Jake Keel, your host here tonight.
Oh, the 26 makes hard contact there with the Uke tire. That is Brian Wax up and over in that number 26 machine. Seemed to lost Jake here momentarily, but Brian Wax in the 26 machine was going for the lead here in that number 26. And man, melee with the Uke tire causes him up and over there. That's going to probably pretty much end his C-Man bout here. But Eric Hogue is going to be the benefactor in that number 33 machine. He's going to take over the lead here in the C-Main with Cole Capre running in that second spot. Nick DeCampo and then Matt Henninger in the number 97 machine. He is currently running in that 4th spot. A little bit of technical difficulties with Jake Keel here. He's going to get everything locked and loaded and set here. He's got some microphone issues on his side. Hopefully he will get that back and going here. Like I said, getting ready to go back to Green Flag Racing, and I think we do have Jake back.
I'm here, but as I was viewing it, I just had cars parked on the front stretch. So I've backed out and I'm launching back in, so I should be back here shortly, ladies and gentlemen.
So getting ready to go back to Green Flag Racing while Jake gets himself back here into the stands here up into our broadcast booth. Number 33 of Eric Hogue going to lead him down here to get to Green Flag. Green Flag is in the air, and we're racing here, back racing in the C-Main. And look at Hogue right there into the number 1 spot in that number 33 machine up on the top side of the speedway. Cole Capre running in that 2nd spot in that 02 machine. 3rd right now, Nick DiCaprio in that 05. DJ Kalinowski up to 4th, and we're back under yellow flag once again here, and that's not what these drivers want to see, especially the ones that started towards the back here, as some of these guys trying to make some moves. There's only 4 spots up for grabs here as these guys get ready to go to the B main. So 4 spots up for grabs, then 8 spots from the B to the A, and that's where the money is. That's where everything's going to be paid out here this evening, and some of these guys locked and loaded waiting. But these guys have to play the alphabet soup here tonight, starting in the C main. They're going to have to make it up through the B main to the A main here this evening. So again, under yellow flag conditions, Eric Hogue is your current race leader there in that number 33 machine, that Native Roots sponsored machine. That beautifully prepared looking car there. And it's got VLR also on the side of that machine. So waiting for this iRacing.com pace truck to get those lights extinguished, because we want to go back to Green Flag Racing. We want to show you the best show on the face of the planet here. The sprint cars, the 410 sprint cars here at the dirt track of Charlotte. And these guys put on one whale of a show last night here in the late models. Some of these guys actually transferred over to the 410 sprints, and this has been a barn burner so far. C-Main event right now, getting ready to go back to Green Flag Racing.
And I'm back, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about the technical difficulties. Todd did a great job of holding everything down while I was out. It looks like the pace car is ducking off. Eric Hogue and Cole Capre going to lead them back to the green as they're setting a snail's pace. Here they go. Green flag in the air. We are racing into turn number 1.
Down into turn number 1, Eric Hogue holds the top, the cushion. There, the O2 Cole Capre in the number 02 machine, like I said. Into turn number 3, running the top shelf of the Speedway. Meanwhile, the number 1 starting to make some moves there. He's up into transfer spots here. The 05 running in the 4th spot, so he's the guy that's on the bubble right now, and he's going to have to fend himself off or try to make or pass around that number 1 machine.
DJ Kilinowski right outside in that number 15. He's got the number 19 of Ryan Marr right behind him. They're trying to get around that number 05 of Nick Del Campo. Del Campo in that 4th and final transfer position with Braden Finsel right in front of them. But meanwhile, up front, Eric Hogue continuing to lead.
Yeah, Eric Hogue doing what he can do. He's trying to run away and hide and drive off into the sunset. 3 laps will remain as we flash by that start-finish line here at the dirt track of Charlotte. It's Eric Hogue, Cole Capre, and Brandon Fizzle in that number 1 machine. Nick DeCampo in the 05. He's hanging on right now and starting to put some distance between himself and DJ Kalinowski.
He even jumped the cushion and grabbed the wall there in turn number 3. He's still grabbing that wall, but DJ Kilinowski and Ryan Marr behind them have just not quite caught up. Marr has a great run out of turn number 4, heading towards the driver in that 4th position.
White flag is in the air. We're down the back straight away here in the turn number 3. Battle for the lead heating up here. The 02 is throwing everything he can at the 33, but picking up the win. Eric Hogue, Cole Capre, Brandon Fizzle, and Nick Del Campo. And the 05 machine will move on to the B main here, and that's going to set the field here. 8 cars will come from the B main to make it to the A main here tonight.
Tough break for everybody else in that C main, but that's how Racing the Alphabet goes, as now we will head on into our B feature. 20 laps, the scheduled distance, 8 cars transferring out of this one. So, Todd, you know, it's a little bit easier to get out of this one, but you still got to be up on your horse for it.
Yeah, a lot of good drivers here throughout the field. You got Albie, who's starting on the pole there in that 74 machine. We did make mention of him. He was on the outside looking in there in this heat race. Had a really, really fast piece in that number 74, Stephen Hill. You got Ryan Martin, Matthew McKinney 4th. I mean, Josh Close, Dylan Fox, Dylan Hauser. You know, those guys right now, and Rusty Kruger in the number 10 machine, right now, those guys are in the top 8. Those guys are the ones that can advance. So you got Rusty Kruger here on the initial start of this event for the B main. It's going to be 20 laps. But those guys are the ones that are going to be on the hot seats here. The rest of the guys that came from the C main or further back there in their heat races, like Dan Smolder's starting 10, they're going to have to work their way into one of those 8 positions.
Yeah, you're right. Rusty Kruger going to be sitting on the bubble right off the bat. We'll see what he can do with that starting position. But up front, we're going to have Adam Elby and Stephen Hill going to lead them to the stripe, with the number 024 of Ryan Martin and the number 51 of Matthew McKinney behind him, the number 20 of Josh Close, the number 14 of Dylan Fox, the 7 of Dylan Hauser, the 10 of Rusty Kruger, the number 211 of Dan Smolders, with the number 29 of Bob King, the 99 of Patrick Solari, Cole Capre, Nick Del Campo. We just saw all those gentlemen in the C feature, as it looks like the pace car is ducking off. We're going to go racing once again at the dirt track at Charlotte. B feature is underway, as Adam Elby will lead them to the stripe.
Yeah, Adam Elby leads the charge down into turn 1, putting that loud pedal down the hardest here into turn 1. The number 127 is Stephen Hill running in that 2nd spot. 3rd right now, there's a good battle heating up between Ryan Martin and Matthew McKinney. Those guys, you want the positions there. You want to be in the top 8, but the more positions you advance, the less positions you're going to have to advance in that A main.
Del Campo going upside down in turn number 1. Wow, we've got another car caution on the speedway. Mayhem all the way around. What? There was just absolute mayhem going around. I thought maybe that this was sponsored by Allstate tonight, with all the mayhem going on. We've got, meanwhile, up front, we've got Adam Elby. He was your race leader. We should be bringing him back to the front. I was not quite able to see exactly who all was in part of that. We're working on trying to find out the exact specifics from all this, but it'll be Adam Elby and Stephen Hill right back there up front. It looks like Matthew McKinney behind him. Dylan Fox with the number 7 of Dylan Hauser as well. Going to get them all lined up and ready to go once again. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, top 8. Going to finish in this one. That right now, that's Cole Newhausen. I'm sorry, that is... I clicked on the wrong one. Yes, I am. Adam Elby is going to be your leader with the number 127 of Stephen Hill. Going to get them lined back up once again. Right now they are single file as we're getting ready to go racing once again in the B feature. Once again, we want to thank Wicked Cushion for coming on board tonight. Make sure to enter for your chance to win a free t-shirt from Wicked Cushion by tagging 5 friends. Get 5 friends to like this broadcast, and you could win a free Wicked Cushion t-shirt. As the pace car ducks on off, the number 74 of Adam Elby going to lead them to the stripe once again with the 127 of Stephen Hill. They're setting the pace through 3 and 4 as now they hit the loud pedal. We're green into turn number 1 on lap number 6.
Yeah, it looked like the 127's in the fire there. He has to make his way back up through the field, splitting the middle here. And that 127 back down to the bottom, trying to pull a slide job up into second. The 51 machine, meanwhile, Matthew McKinney makes contact there with the 127. Those guys keep it going, but look at the 7 of Hauser. Hauser up to second.
Hauser up to second. Stephen Hill going to jump back down to the bottom with McKinney up top. Out. Then 127 of Hill falling way back as caution is on the speedway once again. One car flipping down into turn number 3. As Adam Elby still your race leader. Dylan Hauser, a great run on that last restart, coming up to the second position now. Great run up front for that number 7 of Dylan Hauser. He made a huge move to move into second. Matthew McKinney currently running in the 3rd spot with the number 4 position going to Dylan Fox in the number 14 car. Your top 5 is rounded out by Cole Cabry in the number 02, the 127 of Stephen Hill, all the way back to 6th. You got to believe he's just trying to advance at this point, Todd. The number 29 of Bob King in 7th, and right now sitting in your 8th and final transfer position, talking about him earlier, Rusty Kruger, looking like he might advance into this A feature.
You got guys like the 211 of Dan Smolder sitting right there directly behind him. You also got Bob King there in the 29, Eric Hogue, who is our C-Main winner. He's still mired back there running in the, I believe that's right around the 9th position, Eric Hogue. So he's on the outside looking in. Dan Smolder's now moving up to 8th here. We're restacking them, we're repacking them, we're double file down the front straightaway. What's that mean?
That means it is time to go racing once again to find out who's going to transfer in tonight's main event here at the Charlotte Showdown at the dirt track at Charlotte. We're ready to go here at the famed 410 oval. We got the 410 sprint cars on here. Green flag is out. We're racing once again in the B feature.
And 9 laps remain, 8 laps remain as they flash by that start-finish line. Once again, Matthew McKinney dives down to the bottom of the 51 machine, but that race for that 6th spot right now. Look at the 211 of Dan Smolders. He's coming up through the field. The 33 machine of Eric Hogue. These guys right now fighting tooth and nail for every inch of real estate that they can. Rusty Kruger right now holding on to the hot seat. Ryan Martin up to 9th.
Yes, sir. Kruger trying to hold on to that spot as Yellow out once again. Yellow on the speedway. Dan Smolders, I'm being told, has gone up and over. Maybe. I see him right now on the speedway. Dylan Fox, sorry. Two identical looking race cars there as Matthew McKinney stopped. Eric Hogue has some damage to the front of his sprint car as well. We're going to go through the field once again, see who's sitting in what position. As Adam Elby is your race leader. I'm now showing Matthew McKinney in second, Dylan Hauser in third, Cole Cabry in fourth, Stephen Hill back up to fifth. He's starting to mount a charge once again. The number 6 of Dan Smulders, the number 10 of Rusty Kruger looking to be sitting in that final transfer spot. Todd, am I correct there in that assumption?
It's actually Ryan Martin there. Rusty Kruger actually gained the position there through that. Carney's that went on in front of him there. The 024 of Ryan Martin sits 8th.
Now waiting for his electronic scoring to hit. I couldn't quite figure him out there. We've got the number 74 once again. Adam Elby has led every lap of this B feature and looking to keep that spot as we head towards that A feature.
Yeah, definitely waiting to see what's going to happen here with inside the top 8. We got some sprint cars missing some wings as we were going through the field, like the 33 machine of Eric Hogue. That's got to handle it's got to be a handful, I'm going to say, with a missing front wing. On the number 33 machine, we got 3 laps remaining here. We're going to have a green, I believe a white, and a checkered here for this B main. Here's iRacing.com. Pace truck down onto the pit road. He once again get ready for that green flag once again. Green flag is in the air. Loud pedal is down. The number 7 of Adam Elby once again commanding charge into turn number 1.
Matthew McKinney right on his back bumper in the number 51 car. He's going to try to take the top through 3 and 4. Now he'll travel down the racetrack as he's got his hands full with the number 7 right behind him of Dylan Hauser. White flag is out. Here comes McKinney down to the bottom. Will he mount a move on Elby? Now Hauser going to the bottom. It's going to be Elby off turn number 4. Matthew McKinney in second. Dylan Hauser in third. Cole Cabry in fourth. The 127 of Stephen Hill in fifth. The number 211 of Dan Smulders in sixth. Who finished seventh there? Todd in eighth.
Not really sure. Time in the scoring reset rather quickly here on us this evening. Just waiting for these guys. I know warm-up is getting run through here this evening because I do know we have another broadcast coming up here on Full Velocity TV. Thank you to the VLR guys for letting us come out and play with them here on Full Velocity TV. These guys have put on a fantastic show. I tell you, behind the scenes, you can hear these guys. These guys are legit. These guys have some very good admins out there. You can hear them from time to time. I couldn't hear them, but I know Phil was rather impressed last night. I'm sure you can hear them out there too, Jake, because these guys put on a whale of a show, and it runs right through here this evening.
So it looks like we had the number 29 of Bob King finishing 7th, and the number 024 of Ryan Martin sneaking into that final transfer spot. Rusty Kruger finishing 1 spot out. Tough break for the driver of the number 10 car. As now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for your main event here at the dirt track at Charlotte. And I'll be able to run through your starting lineup for the main event here, as we are ready to go with the number 98 of Tim Ryan on the inside of row number 1, the number 18 of Austin Semmelman on the outside in the second starting position. In the third starting position will be the number 31 of Chase Cabry with the number 8 of Cole Newhoffen. Inside row number 3 in the number 3 car, that'll be Lewis Hewitt with the number 5 of David Helleman in the 6th starting position. In the 7th starting position in the number 12 car, that'll be Alex Bergeron with the number 24 of James Edens. In the number 22 will be Jason Nygaard with the number 50 of Davey Nall. The number 35 of Nick Cooper with the number 4 of Tyler Peifel. Your first of your transfers from the B feature, the number 74 of Adam Elby, the number 51 of Matthew McKinney, the number 7 of Dylan Hauser, the number 02 of Cole Cabry, the number 127 of Stephen Hill, the 211 of Dan Smulders, the 29 of Bob King, and rounding out your field in the number 024, it's Ryan Martin. Now, like you were saying, Todd, thank you to the VLR guys for letting us play around with them tonight. It's been a great show here for the Charlotte Showdown. Big time 410 sprint car action going on as we are green. Tim Ryan going to lead them into turn number 1.
Yeah, Tim Ryan, the odds-on favorite here to win tonight, but there's a lot of guys behind him that think they're going to be able to win too. Look at Chase. I believe that was Chase Cabry in the number 31 machine. Indeed was. He pulled a slide job on Selman there in that number 18 machine, putting himself up into that second spot, but Selman not going away. In the number 18, he's all over.
Selman right behind the number 31 of Chase Cabry. That is your battle for second, as he's got the number 3 of Lewis Hewitt behind him, trying to make a move for that top 3, trying to get into that podium. Selman is holding on to it, as Tim Ryan, the number 98, running away up front.
Yeah, Tim Ryan, if they had rearview mirrors, he'd be looking up at him and saying, man, I can relax and settle down here, but he's got that loud pedal down, and that's why we don't run rearview mirrors in dirt cars, is that way you can concentrate a little bit more on what's in front of you. Selman now back down to the bottom, and that number 18 machine, the 31, made a couple of mistakes there, that Wicked Cushion sponsored machine, and he's able to pull himself back into P number 2. There, here comes the number 5 machine of David Hellerman. He is put on a clinic up on the top side. Contact made through the corner.
Austin Hellerman going up to the top side with Chase Cabry right in front of them. Yellow on the speedway. We'll scroll through the field, see what we can find on that one. Tim Ryan, meanwhile, your leader, he had over a half a second lead on the number 31 of Chase Cabry. Cabry sitting in that second spot in the number 31 machine. We'll run through the field real quick. We got the 98 of Tim Ryan, 31 of Chase Cabry, the number 18 of Austin Semmelman, the number 8 of Cole Newhoffen, the number 5 of David Hellerman, the number 24 of James Edens. He's making big moves. The number 12 of Alex Bergeron, the 22 of Jason Nygaard, the number 35 of Nick Cooper, the 50 of Davey Nall, the 51 of Matthew McKinney, the number 74 of Adam Elby, the 4 of Tyler Peifel, the 7 of Dylan Hauser, the 02 of Cole Cabry, the 29 of Bob King, the 024 of Ryan Martin, the 211 of Dan Smulders, and the 127 of Stephen Hill. And Lewis Hewitt, I believe, was the one who brought out the caution as he was running up front in that number 3 car. Now I show him scored as 20th. So tough break for the driver of the number 3. As we'll get him stacked up and ready to go. David Hellerman also down there in there, so must have been a situation with those two drivers. As the pace car has ducked off, we are ready to go green, Todd, as we head into turn number 3.
Yeah, get ready to go to green flag racing once again. Tim Ryan setting the pace. Remember, he can be on the loud pedal first. He is your race leader. Green flag is in the air. It's Tim Ryan leading the charge down into turn number 1. He was on that loud pedal. Here comes the 18 of Austin Sutherland way down on the bottom. He uses that slide job to get in front of Capray. And that number 31 machine, they're still side by side through turn number 3. Here comes the number 24, James Eden, way down on the bottom.
James Eden digging down there at the bottom in that number 24 car. He will slide back a little bit. Your race right now for second between the number 18 of Semmelman and the number 31 of Cabry. Cabry goes back to the spot as here comes the number 12 of Bergeron on the outside. He's trying to make it a 3-car battle for that second. As Semmelman goes to the bottom, he will slide up in front of Cabry. They stay side by side through 3 and 4.
And staying side by side through turns 3 and 4 down the front straightaway here into turn number 1. Here comes the number 8 machine and yellow flag going to fly.
Oh.
Looks like the number 3 machine up on his lid once again. He's on his side actually. That's a 3 of Lewis Hewitt. So tough break for that machine. Remember out there, whoever's watching, the first 20 laps, yellow flags do count here towards the 40 lap feature. After that, it has to be 40 green flag laps. So right now we're on lap 13 of 40.
We had a problem with the number 50 of Davey Knoll and the number 7 of Dylan Hauser, as Hauser was the one that was on his side in that number 7 machine. Tough break for those two drivers, as Hauser started in the 15th starting spot, but Hellman was in the 6th position. And big tough break for those guys, as Davey Knoll also was started in the 10th position. Now will roll off in the last position.
Yeah, definitely a tough break out there, Jake, for some of these drivers just getting caught up, and others mess ups, and these guys fighting tooth and nail. And these cars are not easy to control out here at the dirt track in Charlotte. You can watch them up top; they're already starting to bounce around. They're using that cushion to their advantage, and a lot of these guys starting to go up and trying to find the extra moisture, the extra forward bite coming off the corner to try to get a one-up on one another here. Right now, Tim Ryan, like you said, odds-on favorite here this evening to win this race. A lot of other drivers pretty hungry. I know I heard from Cole Newhoffen earlier that he thought he had something for that number 98 machine. I had to throw that out there, as we were discussing that with the driver earlier, and Cole said he had a top 5 machine, but he thought he had something for Mr. Tim Ryan.
Well, he is definitely right on that top 5 deal, as he is sitting in 5th. He's going to try to get up behind the number 12 of Alex Bergeron and see if he can make his way into the top 4. As the pace car is ducking off, Tim Ryan going to lead him to the stripe once again as we inch through 3 and 4. There he goes. Number 98 going to lead him into turn number 1.
Yeah, green flag in the air for the number 98 of Tim Ryan into turn number 1. Settlement running in that 2nd spot. The number 12 of Bergeron way up top here. The number 31 also up there. That is Chase Capri in the number 31 Wicked Cushion sponsor machine. He moves himself back into the 2nd spot. Meanwhile, the 18 loses a little bit of momentum. He drifts up the track to Settlement. Here comes Bergeron. Bergeron into that 3rd spot in the number 12 machine.
Bergeron on rails on the high side. Don't count him out just yet, as he is right on the back bumper of the number 31. He's going to get right up on that 31 of Chase Cabri, as the yellow comes out once again.
Yellow coming out for Cole Newhoffen, and again, the black cloud of Full Velocity TV strikes on the number 8 machine. Unfortunately, Newhoffen having a good run, but contact made, and he is relegated to a tow truck, the back of the tow truck for the number 8 machine of Newhoffen. An unfortunate chain of events there, as he was upside down many of times there down the straightaway.
Yeah, tough break for the driver of that machine. Cole Newhoffen was very confident in his machine tonight, but it looks like he is going to be done for tonight in that number 8 car. Tim Ryan running away up front. He had the 31 of Chase Cabri and the number 12 of Alex Bergeron behind him, but Tim Ryan, he's holding them off. And Cabri and Bergeron, they were coming, but Bergeron, this is his best shot at getting up next to that 31 to try to get into that 2nd spot. The number 18 of Semmelman pulling off. Don't know what is quite going on there, but he just pulled off into the infield, Todd.
I believe he had contact with that number 8 machine. I believe that's what's happening. Settlement as he's taking in the longest line penalty. They're in the 18 machine, so tough break for Austin Settlement, as he's going to have to be relegated to the rear after running inside the top 5 here. I do believe, maybe I'm wrong, but I think that's where he's supposed to be going in the 18. Maybe, I don't know. Scoring and timing has not told me anything. He pulled over to the inside, and I thought Settlement was going to go to the rear, but now he's up in front, so we'll have to wait and see.
It'll be Tim Ryan, Matthew McKinney, as green flag in the air. Ryan leads him into turn number 1. He's got Chase Cabri and Alex Bergeron right behind him. Matthew McKinney trying to make a move down there on the bottom for that 3rd position, but Bergeron on rails with Cabri up top.
Yeah, right now is Tim Ryan leading this event here, as you've seen Settlement down on the bottom there in the 18 machine. Not sure what he was doing out there, but he now pulled back down to let those guys by. But the number 98 of Tim Ryan, Case Cabri, and Alex Bergeron right now in that number 12 machine, looking for a way to get inside the top 2 there. And that number 13 machine, meanwhile, Matthew McKinney running in 4th.
You know, you usually like to see a caution flag as a driver sitting in third or fourth on this one, but it looks like all the momentum that Bergeron had there before that caution has kind of let up a little bit as Capri's able to hold him off. As I'm saying that, Bergeron, big boost of speed down the front stretch. He pulls it in right to the back bumper of that 31.
Yeah, Bergeron dives down to the bottom side here. The 31 machine not able to pull off the pass there. Looked a little bit slippery down at the bottom, starting to slicken off as these guys relegated to the top shelf of the speedway up next to that wall. So they're really pushing the cushion there, almost at times hitting that wall. But Bergeron running that to effect here is trying to catch up with that number 31 machine of Chase Capre, and he's not able to do so far. Tim Ryan right now, a man on the mission. He's about a half a second ahead of the second place running the 31.
Cabri has actually closed in a little bit closer on Tim Ryan. Ryan looks like he banged the wall going into turn number 1. Yellow on the speedway. One car on its lid there on its side. We'll see if we can figure out who that driver was. A lot of cars going over so far in this 40-lap A-feature event for the Charlotte Showdown, Todd. We're on lap 31, I do believe.
Yeah, not sure where we're at there. We're going to have to wait and see. I do believe we had a yellow flag that ran into about lap 22, so we'd be technically on lap 20. And then we would actually have another 9 laps. So we should be right around lap 29 or 40. If I had to guess, I'm not a mathematician up here, and obviously I can't hear the admins up here in the booth. And unfortunately, I think we're on lap 29 here this evening so far. Maybe you can chase down some answers there, Jake. See what lap we're actually on.
Yeah, we're going to work on that as Tim Ryan, he's just running them down up front. 27 laps down out of a scheduled 40. So Ryan holding on so far for 27.
Okay, so 27 laps out of 40, so we got 13 laps remaining here. Tim Ryan looked like he was starting to fall into the clutches of that 31 machine during that last green flag run. Getting ready to go back to green flag racing, I do believe, here momentarily. Looks like that pace car going to go down and duck and dive down into the pit road. We're going to go back to green flag racing here out of turn number 4.
Here they come into the front stretch. Green, green, green. As Tim Ryan going to lead him into turn number 1. He gets the huge jump there on the restart. Cabri going to try to hold off Bergeron. Bergeron goes down to the bottom. Slide job into turn number 3. Second goes to Alex Bergeron.
Yeah, Bergeron making some contact at the 31 of Capre, actually making contact with the wall there. Bergeron able to complete that slide job on the number 31 machine, but here he comes back, firing back through the corner. Slide job again. Here comes the 12 of Bergeron right there on his rear bumper. He's going to pull another slide job through turn number 1.
What a race we have here for the second spot as Cabri goes back down to the bottom. He's going to try to slide up in front of the number 12. Here comes Bergeron. Bergeron, can he make the move back down into turn number 1? Here they go down to the bottom. They're side by side, wheel to wheel, as it's going to be Cabri off turn number 2. Bergeron goes down to the bottom, and that is still your battle for second as Tim Ryan continues to lead.
Yeah, fantastic battle for that second spot between Bergeron and Capre. His yellow flag going to fly once again. I believe we completed 4 laps that time with 31 laps remaining here. So we're going to have to wait and see what's going to happen as we restack and repack. So far, nobody's had anything for the number 98 of Tim Ryan.
Tim Ryan, he's running away up front. What a great run that driver has pushed off here. You know, Chase Cabri has been close at times, but Tim Ryan's just getting away on those restarts. He's got a great power plant in that number 98, and it's really making the difference between him and the number 31 of Chase Cabri.
Yeah, definitely making a difference as Ryan just seems a little bit smoother in that number 98 machine as he's just fighting there and just beautifully around the outside, just, you know, in that number 98 machine, the 31. they're fighting tooth and nail with Bergeron and him, and that's probably the best race on the track as of right now between those two guys. Is their slide job after slide job between the 31 and the 12 of Bergeron. Nick Cooper, yeah, I tell you what, Nick Cooper in that 35, he's running in a solid fourth. Matthew McKinney dropped back just a little bit. He is fifth. Jason Nygaard running in that sixth spot. David Hellman in the seventh spot in that number 5 machine. So some of these guys starting to rise to the top here, and you're starting to see them come back. Some of them went backwards, and now you're starting to see them come back as that fuel load burns off.
Yeah, the 31 of Chase Cabri, you got to wonder if he's got anything for the number 98 of Tim Ryan on this restart. He's, if he's going to get past that number 98, he's going to do it right here as they head into turn number 1. He's got to try to stay with Tim Ryan, but Tim Ryan has been the king of restarts tonight in that number 98. I don't think he has been out of the top spot all night long, including his heat race.
Yeah, he's been in the top spot, and he's been the guy to show here. That number 98 machine is getting ready to go back to green flag racing once again. We're on lap 31 of 49 laps remain here at the dirt track of Charlotte. Green flag is in the air. The number 98 of Tim Ryan punches that loud paddle down into turn number 1. Alex Bergeron, meanwhile, goes right back to the top side of that 12 machine, makes a little bit of contact. Now sets himself wide open for the number 35 of Nick Cooper. Cooper working over the bottom down next to those Uke tires. Hub sucking, as I would call it.
Nick Cooper coming from the 11th spot. He's up to 4th right behind Bergeron. Cabri up front trying to run down the number 98. He's got Bergeron right behind him. Bergeron slides up to the top. And Cabri will now cut the lead in half through 1 and 2.
And Tim Ryan right now holding on to the lead, but here comes Capri down to the bottom. Oh, the battle for the lead here between himself and the 98. We didn't see this coming. Capri now to the lead. And that number 31 machine, he's around Tim Ryan. The 98, he comes back down to the bottom.
And now we might have a 3-car battle as Bergeron right behind them. Tim Ryan crowding the 31 through 3 and 4. Now Ryan will go back to the lead. He'll slide up. Here comes Bergeron. Bergeron looking on the outside of the number 31. They're side by side for second as your race up front. Here comes Bergeron. Bergeron bangs the wall into turn number 1.
Yeah, Bergeron banging that wall, but back down to the bottom in that number 12 machine. Side by side battle for the second spot. Now Bergeron competing for the first spot. Slide job on Tim Ryan as now Ryan back down to the bottom.
Bergeron making moves in this one as we have 3 laps to go. 37 down out of a scheduled 40. Here comes the 31 of Chase Cabri. Cabri looking under the number 98 of Ryan. It's paying off to be the number 98 tonight as he continues to lead through 1 and 2. Bergeron holding on to that second spot as we head down into turn number 3. He's trying to hold off the number 31 now as Tim Ryan getting a little bit of distance. Caution, caution, caution as we were coming down to 2 to go.
Yeah, yellow flag on the speedways. Like you said, we were coming down to 2 to go. Tim Ryan, Alex Bergeron, Case Capri, and Matthew McKinney now up to that 4th spot once again. But those guys put on a whale of a show. 3-wide battle for the lead. Did not think Tim Ryan was going to have any competition, and all of a sudden Bergeron and Chase kicked it up a notch in that 12 and 31 machine respectively. And now Ryan had a handful, and then he seemed to settle down and able to pull away just a little bit on the 12 and 31 machine.
Yeah, it was quite a battle he had with Bergeron and Cabri. Bergeron had a whale of a run down the backstretch and really paid off into turn number 3 with that huge slide job. He led momentarily, but we're going to go to a green-white checkered here with Tim Ryan, your leader, Alex Bergeron in second, Chase Cabri in third, Matthew McKinney in fourth, and rounding out your top 5, David Hellman. Two laps remain as we're going to go green, white, checkered here in the Charlotte Showdown for VLR, sponsored by Wicked Cushion. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you once again for tuning in to Full Velocity TV tonight as we are going to go racing with DWR next. As the pace car is getting ready to duck on off, we'll see. It looks like we're going to go one more lap around here.
So you got to know we have a favorite out there. Somebody's got to have a favorite out there in Facebook chat. We want to see your favorite. Who's going to win this race? Who's it going to be here this evening? I know somebody's out there pushing one of these drivers to win this race here this evening. It's going to be a green-white checkered finish, and I'm not sure who to pick, Phil. Phil, as I'm always in the broadcast with Phil, but Jake, I'm not sure who to pick here tonight. These guys have been fast. I mean, Tim Ryan would be the sure bet, but man, the 12 and 31 came around on the last restart.
I won't hold it against you, Todd, but I really think Bergeron can have it. But Tim Ryan is so good on the restarts. As we go green flag, we're going to go white next time around, as Ryan will lead through 1 and 2, gets a big jump once again on the restart.
Bergeron down to the bottom in that number 12 machine. He's going to try a two-for move there through the corner. He moves up to second. White flag in the air. The number 12 of Bergeron now battle for second. That's where it's going to be, I do believe, is Tim Ryan coming down the back straightaway for the final time through 3 and 4. Picking up the win here tonight to the dirt track and show that wicked cushion. It's the number 98 of Tim Ryan, Alex Bergeron going to finish up second. Chase Capri third. Nick Cooper, and we're going to leave the rest up to the scorers here this evening.
What a run by the number 20, the number 98 of Tim Ryan. Great run by him tonight. As, ladies and gentlemen, you can't book it that well. I mean, Tim Ryan running so good tonight. He is dominated here at the VLR Charlotte Showdown. Ladies and gentlemen, that should end our coverage tonight here on Full Velocity TV. Thank you once again for tuning in with us for the Charlotte Showdown with VLR. Tim Ryan picking up the win here in the VLR series.
Just trying to get to top 3 here momentarily so we can get on over to the DWR group over there. They're feverishly waiting for us to come over, but we're going to get a couple of words here. I believe we're going to get an interview with, let's see here. Let's see if we can find Mr. I'm trying to see who we're going to get here, and I don't see anybody that's able to be talked to. Maybe Tim Ryan's not even available. Maybe that's Tim right there. See if we can get the winner here of this evening. And, Jake, we're going to see if we can get Tim on the horn. And I'm hoping this is who Tim is here, as it is. It has an Aussie flag on it. So he's just called Tim here. So we'll see if we can get a word with Tim, our race winner. Unfortunately, some of the other guys don't look like they're going to be available for an interview. Hopefully they can be here. But we'll see if we can get Tim real quick on the horn.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, Tim Ryan domination tonight, as he had a late run there from Alex Bergeron and Chase Cabri, but we'll see if we can get him in the booth. We're just waiting, as Todd's going to do his magic and get him in here. We'll talk to the driver from down under.
Howdy, boys. How are we?
It looks like we got Tim Ryan, ladies and gentlemen. Tim, it's great to have you here in the booth with me and my broadcast partner, Todd Stanton. Tim, just tell the folks a little bit about how you got out front there on those restarts. You were killer on those restarts tonight.
Yeah, I was lucky to even run the race, to be honest. About 15 minutes before the race, the start of the serve, I tried to log in and the game kept crashing, but luckily I got in there about probably a minute and a half before qualifying, so I managed to get my qualifying lap in, which was a bit scrappy, but was good enough for the pole. And then just tried to control the night for the rest of it, but probably put in a little bit too much fuel. The feature had 6.5 gallons remaining when the check had come out, so that probably slowed me down a little bit, but just wanted to play it safe.
Well, you had to stave off a run there by Alex Bergeron and Chase Cabri there at the back at the end of that one. Bergeron and Cabri all over your back bumper. Did you know just how close they were through 3 and 4 there?
Yeah, absolutely. Just once the track got a bit rough and slickened up, I just tried to keep it smooth and not risk it while I'm out in front. I knew if they tried to overtake me, that I'd just be able to use a bit of racecraft to get back by. So I just didn't want to overcook it.
And Tim, you put on a dominating form of racing tonight as you won your heat race. You dominated here in the A feature. Is there anybody you want to thank for this big win tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd like to thank everyone at Ultra C Sports, Logitech G Ultra C Sports. Obviously, our sponsors are Astro Gaming, Logitech G. So if you want any gaming peripheral, headsets, mice, keyboards, anything, steering wheels, they're the people to go to. Cams Australia, and yeah, just everyone for putting it on. VLR do such an awesome event. Just not able to make as many as I'd like to.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, that's the driver of the number 98, your A feature winner tonight here at the Charlotte Showdown. That's Tim Ryan. Tim, thank you for joining us in the booth tonight.
Thanks, boys.
All right, Todd, is there anything else you'd like to add?
Well, that's going to conclude our show for tonight, and unfortunately, we're going to talk to as many drivers as we would like, but we got to get over to the DWR guys. Tune in to us on Facebook Live. Also, once again, maybe we can get a quick word with Alex Bergeron here and Chase Capri. We can bring them both up here, Jake. We'll get Alex first. We'll get Chase Capri. Let's get these guys real quick, and then we'll wrap up tonight, and I'll get right on over to DWR here.
Absolutely.
Alex Bergeron.
Looks like we've got Alex Bergeron in the booth with us, ladies and gentlemen. Alex, man, you mounted a valiant effort there at the end. Did you think you had anything there for Tim Ryan through the middle of that one?
In the World of Outlaws shows, in the Pro Series, qualifying is almost everything. You don't see a lot of guys come from the very back to the front. Every once in a while, you'll see some guys do it, but it's really hard because everybody's so fast in these things. So qualifying was key, and was able to get like I said,
VWR here in a few seconds. So sit tight, relax. We're going to switch over to the new server, and we'll see you here soon.